Oh, hello. This is a very short video and explanation of the NLP presupposition. The person with the most flexibility controls the system. And NLP was developed in the 70s in the States by Bandler and Grinder. And they researched what makes some people successful and others not, even though apparently they had the same abilities and skills. And they discovered that the belief was the most important thing. So you could repeat what somebody else does, but if your belief is different, you won't necessarily get that result. And they came up with about 10 beliefs of excellence, which are sometimes called the presuppositions. And one of them is the person with the most flexibility controls the system. This is one I personally have found extremely useful, and one that I share a lot with children that I work with and parents. Parents particularly, I'd say, because as we become adults, we get to have patterns. We tend to repeat the same way that we do a thing, and we repeat things that we perhaps found successful with child number one, but then doesn't work with child number two, and you just keep doing the same thing thinking, well, eventually it's going to work. And of course it won't necessarily, because their map of the world may be very different from child number one, and add child number three, child number four in my case, and you can get all sorts of requirements to be flexible, shall we say. And of course, as your child gets older, you have to again be flexible, because what worked when they were younger doesn't work when they're older, and they seem to grow older sort of overnight. Things change of schools, change of situation, and change of friendship group, etc. So as adults, we particularly need to be flexible. We need to be flexible when we're running a business, that we don't automatically assume that this particular approach is going to suit every client we have, every customer we have. And also we need to be flexible about our response in different situations. We need really to be able to put to one side all the sort of shoulds. You know, this should happen, this must happen, this ought to happen, we have to do this, because these really limit us. Instead, we need to be thinking, well, what if I did this instead? I could do this. And I know people, particularly people like me who work from home, who say, how on earth can you focus? You know, how can you concentrate? Because, you know, there's things to be done, there's the ironing, there's the washing up or whatever. And of course, if you do have that mindset, I can't possibly work until the house is clean, or I can't possibly have friends around for dinner until I've cleaned the kitchen or whatever, you are going to be very limited. So what I say to children and to parents who I see for consultations, particularly for stress and anxiety and for limiting beliefs, that when they start embracing their imagination, their creativity, the whole what if I could do this, how do other people do it, what if I try that, what would it be like if, what could it be like, what do I really want, and also things like delegating, dump and do. You know, delegate those things that actually you're not great at and are going to take you forever, especially if you'd rather, like me, say, be playing tennis or going cycling. You delegate those things that really get in your way, dump the things that actually don't really matter, and then do the things that you feel passionate about, that are really important to you. And so be flexible in that approach too, that you don't have to do everything. It's not crucial that you have to do everything. You can be selective, and you can look at different ways of doing those things that you want to do, so that you really sort of fit with your values, but also those of your clients or customers or co-workers or whatever, or your family. Okay, bye.